Happy Camp. The only movie like tantric sex. It gets you there till you're almost done, but doesn't let you finish on its face. I don't even know where to begin with Happy Camp. Let's start with the technical. Happy Camp is directed by Josh Anthony, who's also a writer with Michael Barbuto and Ann Taylor. Happy Camp stars Josh Anthony, Michael Barbuto, Teddy Gilmore, and Ann Taylor. The latter being one of the worst actresses I've ever seen. And if you're watching this, stick to producing. Please, stick to producing. You have one of the stalest performances. It's found footage. It's not that hard. Act like whatever's happening is happening right in front of you. Because it technically is. You're one of the people holding the camera. Damn it! Happy Camp's a found footage horror movie based in that little genre I like to call Bigfoot bullshit. Yes, Happy Camp wants to be its very own movie and do its own things, but yet, like most found footage horror movies, except for the 1 out of every 100, it falls into the same category as every other found footage horror movie. More of the same, less of new. You see, the story kicks off with some asshole. I can't even remember the guy's name. The story kicks off with Michael Tanner. He wants to go back to his hometown of Happy Camp, California, which is a real place, I give him that. They want to go back there to film a documentary regarding the disappearance of his younger brother when he was young. Yeah, that works. That sentence is coherent. You get what I'm saying. You see, his brother disappeared while they were playing in the backyard, and no one knows what's happened. It's been 15 years, and they have no idea. Just a little side technical note. If you ever watch Bigfoot County, which is another horror movie that's very disappointing, another Bigfoot movie to be exact, that's very disappointing. Bigfoot and Happy Camp are actually filmed in the same place. You can tell by the statue that is used of Bigfoot, and you can also tell by the RV park that they use in Bigfoot County and the one that they used in Happy Camp. It's very slight things. You can tell, not that that's an issue, but I noticed that on my second viewing, and it was kind of, it'd be nice, it's, I don't know. It's not the worst thing that could happen, but it happened. Watching the movie's the worst thing that could happen. So let's get into spoilers if you haven't seen this piece of shit. Before I go forward, let's just say it's got a 3.6 on IMDb. So if you want to go watch it, don't. It's not worth it. It's one of the less... Bigfoot County is better than this. Bigfoot County is better than this film. So let's get into spoilers. So they go to this town, and of course they have the locals that don't want them around. It's every trope in every horror movie. The locals don't want the new people around because they bring the ruckus and the pot or whatever. So they're staying in an RV that just conveniently breaks down, all while hearing the terrible acting of Ann Taylor go on, oh my god, what is happening to the RV? Oh no, are we going to be stuck here? Oh, what was that sound? Of course you hear the locals talk about how there was sightings of strange creatures in the back and all that, and how there's things going on, and everyone's got a monster story, but no one says what it is, cause movie. So, they start filming, and then all of a sudden, Michael disappears while they're visiting his house because he's depressed and he's upset and So they go looking for him in a scene that feels like 30 minutes long. Oh wait, that's because it probably is. So the three friends are going through the town looking for Michael. And it gave us the best part of the entire movie. This guy's face. That perfectly sums up the entire movie. You're sitting there wondering, why am I watching this? But you're realizing, I made this. I'm part of this. Oh dear God. Eventually they get run out of town. Whatever, they get out of town because their camper gets destroyed. You don't know by what, and you don't know if it was the locals, because it's always got to have that. Is it locals or is it Bigfoot element that's very stupid? So their RV breaks down in the middle of the woods. And this is where things honestly got tense. I even got tense. And it was... The movie was, at that point, was a piece of shit. But it's like they did... I don't know how to explain it. They did a very good way of building up the tension. Because Anne and Michael split up and the other two guys stayed behind. Josh and Toby. Or Teddy, or whatever his freaking name is. Face guy. They stay behind, and you start hearing noises. And it's slowly building up, and he goes back to his house. They manage to somehow get close to it. And he starts remembering what happened, and he remembers that his brother got knocked on the head, and something took him, and he didn't know what it was. And it's just building and building and building. And all of a sudden... It finally gets to the point to the shittiest CGI I've ever seen. And they have, instead of a guy in a suit, they have this CGI Bigfoot come out of nowhere. And it's awful. It killed all of the tension. It was and of course they get killed. Right? Does everyone get killed? Oh no. Of course the worst actress in the movie doesn't get killed. Michael, Toby, Teddy, Josh, they all get killed. And she ends up being picked up by a state trooper on the side of the road the next day. Remember what I said? It's like tantric sex. It was... I don't even... This is almost as bad as Hangar 10. Hangar 10 is a movie on Netflix that I hate with a passion. I hate that movie. I like Bigfoot movies. I like them. I like the suspense. I like the pageantry. Willow Creek was a decent Bigfoot movie. Exists. Good Bigfoot movie. This, though, is... It's just awful. You have bad actresses and actors at some points. Michael, the lead actor, is the only one who's actually convincing. The opening is one of the worst put together pieces of... I mean, that's something that, as a beginner on YouTube, you'd put together. Not someone who's trying to make a film. The locals that they use, some of them are can pull it off, but others just can't. You've got terrible CGI. You've got a location that, if you're a fan of the genre, you recognize, and it pulls you out of the movie. I get that they're using certain elements of the local lore, but still. And then the ending, it's just... Why? Like, why go for, let's spend the money on CGI, then let's spend the money on a terrible costume? A costume beats everything above and beyond. Plain and simple. Taking the time and creating something and working out how to film it and how not to film it is 10 times more. I could give the movie so much more credit if it did that. Because it shows that it took the time to make a costume, to make makeup and put an actor in it. But no, it just took a computer and made a fancy dinosaur. Or dinosaur, Sasquatch. Which is, it's a terrible way to do it. I mean, it's like, imagine The Thing. 1982, John Carpenter's The Thing. Could you imagine if Rob Bottin did not, if he had a computer and he decided instead, let's do it with computers, instead of taking all this time and putting effort into the actual thing? I mean, it would have been awful. I don't like the movie. I give it a 1 star 0 maybe. It was truly a bad experience. When I saw that it was a new film, fairly new, I think it's 2014, that I had not seen, I wanted to watch it. But the movie soon took my hopes for a good, decent Bigfoot movie and flushed them down the same drain as Hard Work. Happy Camp, you failed.